Hi, my name is Eric George with the Building Performance Group. Today I'm going to show you how to do a duct leakage test for energy code compliance. I'm going to show you the equipment that you need to have, I'm going to show you how to set it up, and I'm going to show you the requirements that you need to know to stay in compliance with the code. So come inside, I'm going to show you how it's done. Alright, so now we're inside the house and I'm going to show you the equipment that you need to have to do a duct leakage test. The first piece of equipment is the Duct Blaster. We use the Minneapolis Duct Blaster. There's also a RetroTech model. Basically what this does is it allows me to do a couple different things, a couple different tests. For code compliance, you can do a duct leakage to outside test, or you can do a total leakage test. And you can do the total leakage test with just this piece of equipment, but if you want to do the duct leakage to outside test, you also need to use a blower door. So basically what this does is it connects to the furnace or the heat pump in your house. You can connect it directly to the air handler, or you can connect it to a central return in the house. I prefer to connect it directly to the air handler. So this is the Duct Blaster. It has a pressure gauge that comes with it. This tells me what the pressure in the duct system is, along with the leakage numbers that I'm looking to get. Now we're in front of the blower door equipment, and this is what I use to simulate air leakage on the house when I do a duct blaster test. You need to have the blower door when you want to do a duct leakage to outside test, because this is what actually simulates air leakage on the house, and whatever air gets pulled into the house and into the duct system with the blower door, you then use the duct blaster to balance out that duct leakage, and however much air it takes for the duct blaster to balance out the leakage is the leakage to outside. So I'm going to show you how these two tests are run and how they're set up, and we're going to show you the results of the test. So now that we've got the house set up for the test, we've got all the ductwork sealed off and covered. I'm going to go ahead and get the gauge set up for the duct blaster and baseline it. And what you want to do, if you're using a Minneapolis blower door, you're going to want to put your clear hose, which is your reference hose, on the upper left-hand tab. And this clear hose is going to go into the closest supply register that you can find to the air handler. The green hose right here goes in the upper right. It connects to the brass tip on the side of your duct blaster. And then the red hose here goes on the back side of the fan. It catches the airflow there. So that's how it's set up. You're going to hit on the gauge. Then you're going to hit mode until you see pressure flow. And then you're going to hit device until it says DBB at the top up there. That's Duct Blaster B. So once this is set up, you need to make sure that your ring setting's correct on the Duct Blaster. I always default to ring 3. So you hit config until it says C3. Now it's set up and I can baseline the gauge. And all I do is hit baseline start. And I wait about 60 seconds and hit enter. And that baselines the equipment and gets me ready to do the duct leakage test. Alright, so now that we got the Duct Blaster set up, it's all baselined, we need to go to the blower door and do the same thing. So on the blower door, you've got another pressure gauge. You've got a green hose that's connected to the lower left-hand reference. This runs through the blower door to the outside, so that gauges my pressure to outside with reference to the inside of the house. The red hose goes on the upper right-hand corner tap and runs to your pressure tap right here on the top of the blower door. So what you're going to do to set this up, you're going to hit mode until it says pressure flow at 25. You're going to hit device, it should say BD3 by default, and then you need to choose your ring setting. So I always choose ring 1, and then once you've got it set up, you hit baseline start, wait about 60 seconds. As long as it's not windy, then you hit enter. So that will get the blower door ready to go to do the test. Now we got the blower door, it's ramped up, it's created a pressure difference of 25 pascals on the house. Duct Blaster set up. I'm looking at my pressure gauge here. This number on the left is the static pressure in the duct system that's being created with the blower door. I need to make that number hit 0, and whenever that number hits 0, the number on the right is my duct leakage to outside. So I'm going to use this right here to turn it on. And I need just to back it down until it gets to 0. And once it hits 0 on the left-hand side, it looks like we're going to be at about 16, 17 CFM of duct leakage to outside. The code maximum is 8 CFM per 100 square feet of area that the ductwork serves. So in this particular house, the ductwork serves about 2,200 square feet. So that would be about 160 CFM of leakage to outside that they could potentially have and still pass. So clearly this house passes. Since all the equipment's inside conditioned space, I'm not surprised that it passes. But if the system was in an attic or in a crawl space or a garage, it would probably have a lot more difficult time to pass. So we'll go ahead and turn this stuff off and we'll show you the next steps. So now that we got the duct leakage test done, we need to fill out a report for this house. The report needs to be given to the builder as well as the building inspector for the code compliance verification. So in Kentucky, we have a nice little form that was created for us. You can also use a form that is generated from the equipment. There's software that comes with the equipment, and that's approved as well. Basically, the form requires the address and contact information for the house, the builder, as well as the company that does the testing for the ductwork. So the test can be conducted by a HERS rater like myself. It can also be conducted by the HVAC company that installed the equipment, provided that they've got the proper training and certifications to do that. It can also be tested by the builder if he has the proper certifications and equipment and training as well. So you need to verify whether or not the test was done at the rough-in or at the final, and whether the air handler was actually installed or not. You need to include the square footage for the house, the total conditioned area square footage. So for example, if there is a house with a basement and the basement's not finished, that unfinished basement is also considered in the conditioned area square footage. So total square footage, you can put in the maximum allowable square footage for that house, and then underneath that you put the actual duct leakage that you tested on the house. So it's a simple pass or fail, either it does or it doesn't, based on that leakage maximum. And you sign it, date it, provide the report to the builder and to the building inspector, and that's what you need to do for duct leakage testing for energy code compliance.